Hello, this is Craig from bitsbox.co.uk. In this video, I am going to paint a Covenant Corvette ship from Halo Fleet Battles in the colour scheme of the Swords of Sanghelios. So this will be mainly a red colour scheme. I'm also going to do a little bit of freehand on the front of the ship, and we'll also be painting the lights as well. I'm going to paint the entire ship just with regular paintbrush, but you can of course use an airbrush if you wish, following some of the techniques from previous videos. So we're going to start by taking some Khorne red from the Citadel base range from GW. As this is a base paint, I'm going to thin it out with a little bit of water just so it flows quite nicely on the ship. Now we want to cover the entirety of the ship here, so you want to get in all the recesses as well. So as you can see, I've just got an old brush here. You don't need anything too fancy at this stage. So just work your way around the ship. Thinning the paint out a little will help you get into all the harder to paint areas as well. So try and get on as smooth a coat as you can. So this is a base coat complete. So the next step is to take a lighter red, and for this I'm going to use some Evil Sunz Scarlett from the Citadel layer range of paints, also from GW. So we want to paint it all over the ship again, but this time we're going to leave all these panel lines the darker Khorne red colour. So I'm going to thin it out again with a little bit of water this time, not as much as before. And this will make sure it'll flow on the miniature really nicely, and it'll help us control the paint, because we don't want to hit any of these lines in between the panels. So just take your time with this step and be very careful. As the paint's quite thin, I am going to do 2 coats of this just so we get a nice smooth red finish. But once it's complete, that will really make all these armour panels stand out nicely. And here we have the ship with the red panels painted, and as you can see, the panels really do stand out. Now I've left some of them the dark Khorne red, and that's because I'm going to take some Rakarth flesh, and I'm going to paint a couple of these panels with that colour. So again, thin it out with just a little bit of water, help it flow nicely on the miniature. It should cover the red really nicely, so you will only need 1 coat. So I'm going to do this side panel here and this one just on the edge here. I also decided to paint a couple of smaller panels just towards the rear of the ship as well. And which panels you paint is entirely up to you. So as you can see, I've painted a few panels on here, and that just breaks up the red a little bit. So now we're going to start painting the lights, and I'm going to take some Stegadon Scale Green, also from the Citadel base range of paints. So I thin this down roughly 2:1 with water, so it flows quite nicely. You don't need a really thick coverage for this, as it's going to be the outer glow for our lights. So I'm going to paint it on these little lights on the side, as well as in the middle of the Corvette. Which colours you use here is entirely up to you. You may not wish to have blue lights at all, or you might have different shades of blue. I'm sort of using the more turquoisey blues for the ship, just to do something different to the other ships. As you can see, we've now got our outer glow, so we're now going to start with our inner glow, and for that we're going to take some Sotek green from the Citadel layer range of paints. This is one of my favourite colours because it's a nice turquoisey colour. So again, we're going to thin it out slightly, and we're going to paint it in the lights, but this time we're going to leave some of the Stegadon Scale Green just around the outer edges. So you only need a tiny little bit just on the sides here. And then towards the middle, we're just going to paint this colour in. As you can see, it's going on nice and thin. You can build it up as much as you want, so you can get it as thick as you'd like it to look. As it's sort of a glow effect, I'm just going to have it quite thin at this stage. So you can see it's starting to build up the light, but it's still not bright enough. So I'm going to take some Lothern blue, also from this little layer range of paints. And this will give us our final highlight. So we're not working up to white as we have done with previous ships, but this blue is still quite bright. So it will make the lights look quite nice. So just very small amounts this time, just in the sides. And then in the middle, just going to do a little bit just towards the centre. And I'm also just going to run it just along the side of these panels here. This will help give it a little bit of an illusion of a glow. So you can build it up just to be a bit lighter than that, which I have done off camera, just done another layer of that colour just around edges. So now we're going to go back to the Rakarth flesh, and this is where we start our freehand. So if you're not familiar with the Swords of Sanghelios logo, you can just do a quick Google image search to see what it's like. Now, for a ship this small, it is a complicated little logo, so I'm going to do a very simplified version of it. And to start, we're going to do just like a really stretched U shape, just following these panel lines. Now, as the Rakarth flesh is quite a thick paint, you certainly need to thin it out at this stage and just have a little bit on your brush. This will help with your freehand. So as you can see, I'm just doing very little strokes here. It's better to build it up than it is to do too much and take it away. However, if you do make a mistake, then you can come back with the evil Sunz Scarlett and just correct any mistakes that you make. So this will require a steady hand and a little bit of patience. As you can see, I use my middle finger just to steady the ship a little bit when I do this. It's very hard to do on camera, so I will do more of this ship off the camera. But I'll just show you little bits and pieces of this freehand in this video. You can see I just do a little bit too much there. So I went off camera and did this sort of U shape, and then we're going to do the circle in the centre. Of course, it's very small on these corvettes to get the kind of detail you'll get from the actual logo. Maybe on the larger ships you could really get the logo looking really nice, but this is just a very simplified version. So yeah, again, I use my finger just to stay as I paint. Painting any sort of freehand does require a lot of practice and patience. The freehand I do here is quite crude anyway, because again, I'm just on camera and I don't actually do a lot of freehand work as it is. But I thought I'd show you just how to do some simple freehand, just in case any of you guys want to have a go at it yourself. So the trick is, just as I said before, just keep your paint thin, just have a little bit just on the tip of your brush, and just take your time and build it up slowly. So this is the Swords of Sanghelios logo, very crude and very small and not so detailed, but I hope you guys get the idea of that. On a larger ship it would look quite cool because you have a lot more space to work with, but it's just something different to add to your ships. So here he is, alongside another corvette, just in the regular colour scheme. I will paint up some more in this colour scheme and before we do our giveaway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have enjoyed all the Covenant ships that I have painted in this mini-series of painting tutorials. We will now finally be moving on to the UNSC, and I have 2 or 3 videos in mind to do for them, so look out for them very soon. So as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video, and give us a thumbs up, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.